Let's check whether you have everything in place. So you have product table, you have manager, record. Okay, I think we have everything that we need. So I'll close this project and I'll come to my view. So I'll create the views for them. Now with the views, we need the what? The source interface, the product interface, and all those interfaces. So this how I'll go by it. I'll create one big panel with a tapping. Then for each tapping, one will be for product, one will be for login, one will be for record product. So the other four tables. So let me just create it. So main UI or phone UI. It's just my design. Let it be there. I'll be there. Then I'll disable it based on who logs in. So this one should JFrame. Then finish. I'll modularize the program. So I'll create different panels for them. So I'll create one panel for the what? The sales. One panel for the product. So let me create my panels. Then I'll call them. So main what? Users panel. No, this is not the login. No, general. You let me finish. Users UI. J panel. Then product UI. Extend from J panel. Then record UI. Extend from what? J panel. Then finally supplier UI. Extend from what? J panel. So I have this for architecture. Now this is what I would like to do. I'll place all these guys on a tab pin. So let me start with the phone UI. That's my main UI. You let me add the last UI. The login. Login will be a JFrame. JFrame. So let me start with my phone UI. Then start with the staffs. So I need instance of all those guys. So product UI, instance product, user, I'll privatize it. User UI, user UI, which are the record UI, then private, which other UI is left? Users, product, record, and supplier. Then you have forgotten one UI, the sales UI. So supplier UI. So let me create it before I forget. So add the sales UI. It's a panel as usual. Sales UI. It's a panel, J panel. Finish. Then the phone UI. I'll add the sales UI to private sales UI. Then I'll create my constructor as always. I'll create my private init method. Then I'll do my initialization here. So product return type void. Then product UI is equal to what? New product UI. User UI is equal to new user UI. record UI is equal to new record UI. Then supplier UI is equal to new supplier UI. Sales UI is equal to what? New sales UI. So I've initialized this component. Then it's left with the. So these are the components. Now I will need JTab pin. So JTab pin main or I tab main tab. Then what else will I need? For now, let me just add a tab pin and see how it will look like. So the main tab is equal to new JTab pin. Then I'll add it so that we see the structure. So super phone shop. Then set size 800 by 600. Then set visibility to true. Set default close operation JFrame dot exit on close. Then I'll come to the initialization. So I've already initialized. So tab pin. Let me have a panel. Oh, it won't change. Tab pin. Which method? Please don't forget. Should be your first after your software. Super. If you are going by this approach. Tab pin dot add component. This will be the what? The title. So sales, let the sales come first. Then sales UI. Tab dot add sales users user UI. Tab main dot add suppliers supplier UI. Then tab main dot add product UI. Then finally, you are done. There are 4 or 5. Record. Are you following at all? Add. What is left? Record. Product is already there. Record. So now let's test it and see. I've not added it to the frame. So add tab. I don't have any main method. So I'll use my login. After, I will just use my login as my editor. So public static void main. New phone UI. So that's our main record. So we are now coming to populate what? Each content. So I'll start. You can add another. That's what I'm coming to do. Let me continue. So this is just one tapping. Then I will go to the sales. So I know my general architecture is working. So I'll start with the sales UI. So for the sales UI, we need what? I'll still need a tap in here. Or just normal interface. There's no need for tapping. Private. I yes. Speaks of what? In terms of phone UI. No problem. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, where were we? The sales, right? So let's build the sales interface. I'll need a panel. So J panel, main, PNL, main, then private. What else do we need? For the sales, so a phone for what? A test rate for searching. Are you with me? I'll stop if you are not following. When I ask, I need you to provide it with me. J test field, TST, TST, price, or search. Search field. Then where I will display the price. So maybe TST, price. So those are the two test fields. Then I ask some buttons. So private, J button, BTN, search, comma BTN what? Sell or sold. Then I've not done the label. So private, J label, LBL, search. Do I need search? Search and price. Well, search, LBL, price. Okay. So let me create my init method or the constructor first. Source UI, private, void init, call the super. I can still call the super. There's super there, but I'm not setting a title, so it doesn't have that. So you can just set the super and pass the layout to it. But there's the panel. You're right. So I'll add my component. Let me just call the init. Then I'll come initialize them here. So first I need what? The panel itself is equal to panel. Then there was no need for the panel. It's already a panel. Of course, TST price is equal to new test field 20. TST search is equal to new. Then BTN search is equal to new button search. Then BTN sold is equal to new J button sold. So this is it. Then which other? The labels. LBL is equal to new J label price. LBL search search. So you now have these things. Then the order, I'll just set layout to new. Then I'll start adding the components. So which one should come first? Which one should come first? I want the label search. No, we are doing the source interface before. The label. Okay, search. So LBL add. I want to add these two guys to this frame. So the panel main dot add component LBL search panel main dot add tst search. This one should be in one panel. And finally I'll add this panel to it. So add pnl main, then add the next label is what? tst price, lbl price rather, add tst price. No, where would the button come? So after the search, I want the button to come under it before. So after this, add btn search. Okay, the button can be down there. It doesn't matter where it should be. So add btn search, add btn sold. Let me try it and see what I'll get. Started. So the search is here, the price is here. So these are fixed. Alright. Search and this. What are the columns? So let me just modify it and see what. Which first panel? Okay, let me just leave it this way. This flow layout. Let me just leave it. I want it's default for by default frames panels are flow layout by default. Let me just leave it this way and set this one's property to what? False. Editable to false. So the price btn is it label or button? tst price dot set editable to false. So okay, this is editable to false. So search and sold. Okay, now I'm done with the sales. What else do I need again? The supplier. Let me do the list one first. The product. The product too. I will need what? All the fields. So that one too. It's a whole lot of work. I'm explaining. Private J label. So give me the labels. You have how many labels? 1, 2, 3, 4. So LBL 1. Let me use proper names. LBL name, LBL model, LBL ID, LBL date, then private, the same thing. So JTS for TST name, TST model, TST ID, TST date, private, J button, save, btn, save, btn, save. Then let's just save all of them, then we'll display down there. So save, you know why I'm delaying? I've not planned it. I'm doing a plan at the same time, that's why. And I'll call the init, then I'll initialize the component. So that is it. Then tst, tst, no. Then let me initialize the button, btn, new button, save, view all. Now let me add them. There's a panel, so I just so I'll add the order is what? Which one first? Any of them. So label test, label test. So LBL date, add tst what? Date, add LBL ID, add tst ID, add LBL model, add tst model, add LBL name, add tst name. So I've added this component. Then it's left with the buttons. Add btn, save, add btn, view all. So that's which one was that? Okay, so it's scattered some layer somewhere. So this. Mm, what's happening to my formatting? Is it? Is it more than 4? Supposed to be 10. Okay, something of this sort. So say view or the formatting will come later. And you can increase the font size and stuff by calling the font class to change the font size and modifying the text. So this will be our what? Product table. So when you click on save, it will save into what? The database. This is too big, but so this is it for the product table. Let me do the event listener. So when I click on the button, I want to what? Save into the what? The database. So I'll go and do that in the controller. So I'll come to the controller, then I'll create an action listener. So I can do it, there's no point. Let me do it here to make the code too long. So I'll just implement an action listener. After all, there's just one product. So implement action listener, then add unimplemented methods. Then in this case, there are 2 methods. So I have to know which one is being clicked. So I'll just check if I should do it in another class. So I'll just come to my controllers, then I'll create this is what? Product. So product, huh? Huh? Like an inner class. Oh, you want an inner class? It's the same thing. When I use the inner class, it will have some benefits. The inner class should be the best candidate because that's the only place you are using this method. So when you send it outside as a different class and no one is using it, are you getting it? So let's make it an inner class inside that same class. So I'll just come down here. Class, class, product, listener, implement, action listener. Then I'll add unimplemented methods. Then when I come here, so that here I can have access to the buttons and stuff and use them here. So action perform if event or event evt dot get source dot equals get action command or get source. If okay, get action command dot action command will get the name on the what? The label. So if it's save, then I'll process the save. Else if if it's view all. If it's view all, so make sure the name is the same as this. So instead of I'll just copy this guy for it. So there'll be no complex. You have created your method, so no one can change it. Well, it's implementation. I'm going by this. So if it's saved, then I'll create what? I will use my manager class. So product manager. Let me initialize it. Okay, let me go initialize it in a net method. So manager is equal to new manager. Then when I come down here, I just say manager dot add product. Then here I need to get the first. So I'll just say new product. This will be long, but bear with me. TST. Which one should come first? Name. So TST name dot get test. Convert it to string. TST model dot get test. TST date dot get test. Then TST id dot get test. So this will get the values and insert it to it for us. Then for the view doesn't take anything. So I just say manager dot get all product. At the moment I've not set it to any data. So if you have a table model, you get set it to a table model. If you have some list, you get set to a list. So let's try and see if you can save. So I run it. I've not binded a button to it yet. So I'll go to my class here. Let me do it up here. So btn save dot what? Add action listener. This. No, this not this. So new. What's the name of the class? New product listener. But it's better I'll create an instance of it. So cat, I'll just create that one here. So private product listener listener. Then I'll initialize it here. So listener is equal to new product listener. Then I'll bind this one to it straight away here. So say let's see whether I have some errors. You're not getting any error. Let's check the database. Okay, so it saves successfully. Even though I didn't test anything there, it saves successfully. So you duplicate it for all of them.